sit. I'm going to do this little greeting routine with Biscuit. I always have her sit, and then I give the person I'm introducing her, you should probably stand there, a little treat. You know, we practice a sit stay all the time, and if you want to throw in a little sit stay like this before you send her over, you get the little treat from the person. It's just great practicing. If she pops up like that, you say no, and you just do a little reset circle like that. And as you know, she gets really excited. There's still some of the old Biscuit left, but she's way calmer, as you can see. And every time we practice this, she gets a little bit better. So before you send her over, or the way that you send her over, is make sure this leash is always loose with your right hand. She's on your left. With your right hand, you pat her chest and say, go say hi. She gets the treat, she gets petted, and then you say, come. Good. She gets the treat on your end, step into her. I even like to do a little circle like this, and then sit. And if she doesn't sit right away, just pull up with the ever so slight pressure, and her butt will hit the ground and you release the pressure. Once again, step over, give the person a little reward there. She has to wait while I do a little sit stay, walk around sit stay test like this. Just makes her even calmer if she has to focus longer before going over to get the treat and get petted. Nope, make sure she really waits. No. Nope. Nope. Make sure she really waits and doesn't mess with your hand. No. Go say hi. Come. Good. We're doing this exercise every day with different people because when she first came here, she had a tendency to jump over everybody. She'd jump over people that she just met, and she'd jump all over people that she knew that she hadn't seen for a while, since that morning or whatever. I'm sure she jumps all over you, or she jumped all over you when you'd go to work and come home at night. So the thing to remember is that if you're by yourself and you're coming inside from, let's say she's loose in the house and you're coming in from work, make sure that you're down there on her level, and to have a little treat in your purse or something even helps even more, because if all good things are happening down there's no reason for her to jump. If you don't do that first and you just walk in, or you walk up to her and she's excited, she's going to jump and you're going to push her away, say her name. It's all attention for that behavior, and the jumping will never go away. You could correct her severely. Very old-fashioned, of course, doesn't work so well, but you're not going to do that to her. She is your baby, so you don't want to hurt her, obviously. So that's an ineffective, old-fashioned technique we don't use anymore. What we do now is, if we're going to, if we want her to stop jumping, we pet her before she starts to jump. We give her treats, pet her, whatever we can do to keep her down there. Then if she jumps, no, you stop touching her. Instead of waiting for her to jump and saying all these things and doing all that and pushing her down, we start petting her and giving her treats or whatever you're going to do before she jumps. And then if she does jump, it all stops, and it teaches her that, hey, the jumping makes all the attention stop. So we turn it all around on her, and you keep doing that. It starts working really well, and you see that even sometimes if you don't meet her down there first, she's not even jumping, because we've established this new pattern of where she associates staying on all fours on the ground with that's where good stuff happens, and jumping makes all the good stuff stop. So you just have to continue that pattern, and it's just going to get easier and easier to handle her. Starting this. Okay. Sit. You always have her sit before you send her to the mat. With your right hand, pat her chest and say, go to your mat, walk over with her and say down. And we're going to practice a little downstay here. And I usually practice it for about 5 minutes. Make sure that you always give her the reward like that, where you put it on the mat and she takes it off the mat, and not grabbing it out of your hands, and you're not throwing it down. So it's going to be, if you have your pouch on or something like that where you have your treat, you're not going to come at her like this You're already down there, so you just kind of swing in like that. Nope. Nope. Good. Make sure she waits until you withdraw and she takes it off the mat. And then you can start making the exercise a little bit harder as you go along. Here I'm walking around her both ways just to practice a little downstay, which is the basics, what every dog should have. They should be able to stay there with their owner or somebody, whoever's doing the training, walking around both ways behind them and not popping up. Nope. Make sure she really waits. See how she has to wait? Nope. You just pull back if she doesn't wait. Nope. Nope. There's no touching your hands. Not allowed. Nope. Nope. Good. Okay. She's a funny little dog. She has her little idiosyncrasies. As long as she's not standing up in this situation, it's okay. If she see how she's kind of sideways on the mat, you can take a little bit of your chicken breast or whatever you're using, and you can lure her to be straighter on the mat. Just like that. There we go. Good. Because you want her in the middle of the mat. I mean, you could have done it, you can do it that way, or if she's way on the edge of the mat or something, or where you don't want her to be, you can just go next to her. Okay, release her off the mat, do a little left turn like this, and then do another left turn, and lead her into the center of the mat, down, and put her where you want her to be. That's probably an easier thing for you to do, because you don't want her all the way to one end or off the mat or way in the back or something. You try to put her in the middle of the mat. I'm going to do this little downstay again, walk around both ways, and then I'll do something even harder after that. And we do this every day, and I set my timer for 5 minutes, and what you have is you have a 5-minute downstay. Nope. She gets anticipatory. She really loves chicken. That's why I'm using this chicken today. Nope. Nope. No. Make sure she really waits. Good. Just like that. You may have to pull back a couple of times. So this was really hard for her to get for a while, but if I pull on the leash, good. She won't move because she knows she only leaves a downstay, good, in one specific way, and that's when I release her in that one specific way. So any other way, that's what we're teaching her on the mat, with this downstay on the mat. Good. Anything else that might trigger her to get up? She's not going to do it because she only gets up one way, and that's when I release her. Nope. Make sure you really make her wait. Good. Make her focus, concentrate. So now, since I'm in a fenced yard, I can drop this leash, walk farther away. I'm going to try to make her make a mistake, and you can show her. So I'm walking way to the other end of the yard and back again. That was good. No. So if she gets up, you say no, and she'll go back. Don't say down again. You already said down once. Good. Do a big old giant wide circle. Walk farther away. All the way back to where I was before. Show them where I am right now just for a second. I'm going to open this gate and I'll show her. I'm going to open this gate like I'm leaving the yard. Show me again. And show her. So we're just finding all these ways to test her. See, she's most likely to pop up right when you're coming back because she gets anticipatory about the reward, and so she gets excited. Nope. Good. That's why you really have to focus and be calm at this last step of the exercise when you reward her, because that's when she's most likely to get the most excited and pop up, as you can see. So we're almost at the end of our 5 minutes here. I'm going to end the exercise. She didn't really make a mistake, and that's good. And if you keep practicing this way with her in your apartment, she'll keep getting better and better. Of course, we'll practice that when I deliver her to you. So the only way that she's allowed to get out of a downstay is when you step back next to her, pat your leg and say, okay, and then sit, lead her off the mat, have her sit, always keep that leash loose, and then pat her chest and say, go, and she's free. Always pick this mat up because it's not to hang out on, it's not a doggy bed. It's only for this one specific exercise. That's why it's such a powerful exercise, because she's triggered when she goes on it. She's triggered to just do that one behavior, that is stay in a calm down stay, and that's it. So you don't let her hang out on it. You don't let her run back and plop down on it. She'd love to do that, but this is only for that one specific purpose. And then her doggy bed, she can do that on her doggy bed. She can come and go as she pleases. That's a free time place. This is only for doing this one exercise with you. It's an interactive exercise. You don't put her on the mat like the old-fashioned go to your place and then forget about her and you go somewhere and then she falls asleep and she gets up when she pleases. So we're not doing it like that. We're doing it exactly the way I showed you on the video. And if you do this every day, if you don't have 5 minutes, do it for 2 minutes or 3 minutes. Just make sure that the time that you spend doing it is quality. Whatever you do, it's quality. It's not about the amount of time. It's about ending on a success. And remember that the dog always remembers how it ended. So it's better to do less time, end on a success while she's still focused, instead of doing too much training and ending on a mistake because she's lost focus and she can't get back to doing it the right way. Okay. Sit. Good. We never repeat the command. If she hesitates for some reason, like she just did, you probably saw that, or you can watch it again and see that I just pulled up with the slightest amount of pressure when she didn't sit right away. But I would never repeat the command. And I mean, you know how jumpy and nervous she was when she first came. So even to be this calm is just, you know, she's just come miles from where she started in the beginning. But sometimes you have to help her just reinforce that command with the leash, gently but firmly, like you've seen me doing in the different clips in this video. Stay is built into sit, so you don't have to say stay. I've never said stay to her. I've just taught her to do longer and longer sits. And then I've taught her to wait until I release her. So I'm practicing doing this out in the yard for you right now, but we practice sit stays in all different places, and we're going to do a little clip of her sitting at the door and a boundary to show you, just give you an example of the things you can do. But if she gets up, you're going to say no, and you're going to do that little, let's pretend she made a mistake. Okay, let's pretend she popped up. No. You're going to say no. You're going to do your little reset. Just pull up with a little bit of pressure and she'll go back. Don't say sit again. You already said it once. That first time you told her has to hold, should hold for the whole time. You don't want to do really long sit stays because it's not that comfortable. If you're going to do a long sort of stay, do a down stay, because it's a lot more comfortable for the dog to be in a down stay for a longer period of time than a sit stay. And then she's waiting to be released. She waits until you come back to get her. Never call her out of a sit stay or down stay. That will build anticipation, and your solid down stay and sit stay will disappear because you'll put her in one of those and you'll walk away and she won't know. Is she going to call me to her, or am I supposed to wait till she comes back? She won't know. So you have to do it the same way every time. It only goes one way. She's in a down stay, a sit stay. She waits till you come back next to her like this. If you're going to release her, you pat her chest and say go, and she's free to go in front of you and wherever she wants to go. And I think I've already done that on some of the clips. So this time I'm going to release her as if I'm going to walk with her. She's going to walk with me. So I'm going to pat my leg and say, okay, and she's going to walk with me. Okay. Down. Notice I'm never repeating the command. I helped her a little bit with a little bit of tension on the leash. She is just about ready to do a down without help on the leash. It's taken a while to get her to this point, but she's almost there. As you can see, the stay is solid, which is usually it's the other way around. The dog has no stay. So the stay is solid. Good, and it's just exactly the same rules as the mat. In fact, that's why I teach the mat exercise. That's the first thing I teach. And it's the foundation exercise for really all of this, because it teaches the stay, and it just develops great focus between you and the dog. And then, if you practice the mat for a while, then you start doing downstays without the mat, and she's good without the mat. So that's why we use the mat. And you can see the results of using the mat is that now she's got a great downstay without the mat. Good, same rules as the mat. She's waiting until I come back next to her. I'm gonna pat my leg and say, okay. I'm gonna have her sit, and then release her to be free. Go. You always release her out of a downstay like that. You say, okay, you have her sit, you release her from a calm sit stay, the way you just saw me do it. Because if you release her out of a downstay, just okay, and she's free, most dogs are going to jump up, and she certainly will start doing it. Jump up and be excited and run around, and she'll lose any calmness that you started to develop in that calm downstay. So always release her the way I just did. Okay, sit, and then you release her from a calm sit stay, so she stays calm. So she. When I practice calling her to come, I always do it the same way, because if you do it the same way, it's going to become second nature much quicker, and you won't even have to think about it. I always have the leash in my left hand, and in fact, if I'm walking her, it's just like this, and she has a very secure, just regular collar, but it's a buckle collar, it won't come off, and it's very secure, and if she were to pull me, I can just tap it like this. If she were to go over to somebody or something, or she was going towards something that I didn't want her to go near, something gross on the ground, I would call her to come to me. I'm not going to say leave it. I'm not going to say it makes shushing noises, snap my fingers, squirt her with a squirt bottle, use an air horn, or anything else, or say any other crazy word. I'm going to engage her mind to do something instead. So if she's going towards somebody or something that it's not appropriate to go towards, I'm just going to say, come. And I always practice the come command when she's looking away from me. So in this case, she won't stop looking at me, so I'm going to create a distraction, toss this piece of chicken. Look, over there. Now I can call her away from it. Come! Good. Let's do it again. Sit. Okay, go. Come. Good. See how I backed away? When you back away, it draws the dog to you. When you stand still, it's not half as good. And if you move towards her, of course, she's going to run away, or she's going to grab whatever it is and then run away. So always come. Draw her to you. You see how I have this little target hand here? Good girl. Good. I didn't even have anything in it that time. And that's why we always call her to this closed hand target. Because in an emergency, we're not going to have a treat. There's not going to be a leash. God forbid that happens, but if it does, you're set up for success, because she doesn't know it's not, she doesn't know that it is empty, and she's just come to this target hand so many times, hundreds of times since she's been here, that all she knows is something good is going to happen. Something good is waiting there. If I don't have a reward, I'm just going to love her up extra, and she probably barely misses the treat. So that's why we do it that way. And so if you can't find distractions, after you start doing this training and she never stops looking at you like it is with me now, then you have to create your own distractions. Go, like that. Come, and then calling her away from them. Good. Now when you are practicing, use a reward. You use a reward when you are practicing, so that when you don't have the reward and you don't have a leash, it works. So I'm going to take the leash off of her, and I'm going to scatter some treats here. Let's see. And then I'm going to show me walking across the yard there. So here's the treats. Hey. So she's going to be busy with those. I'm going way over here. Come. Good. I couldn't back away because my back's to the fence. And she wasn't even finished with the treats. and she still came to me. So you have that kind of recall now, as long as you continue to practice the way I just showed you. Always having a treat, always having the leash on when you practice to reinforce the come command. Come, always doing that. Good, treat, loving her up when she comes to you, so that when everything goes wrong in the real life situation, a crisis situation, you have that come command where she comes to you no matter what.